Welcome to the post-race press conference following another incredible Sao Paulo E-Prix. Please welcome to the stage, already on the stage, Taylor Barnard from Neon McLaren Formula E team, Antonio Felix Da Costa from Tag Heuer Porsche Formula E team, and your race winner, Mitch Evans from Jaguar TCS Racing. Mitch, when you started last, could you imagine being right in the middle here, talking to me right now?
Honestly, yeah, obviously not. It was just a crazy one today. But lining up on the grid, I was first of all just hoping to see the checkered flag because we've had some issues on track over the last 2 days, which obviously prevented me from doing qualifying and cutting one of the practice sessions short. So there was definitely some concern there. But yeah, once the race started, you just had to forget about it and just hope that from that side it's all fine. But yeah, I mean, what a wild race. I got 10 cars in the first lap or 2 laps maybe. So that really changed my race quickly because I was starting to get into the mid-pack and I started to shift my focus to try and optimize this race even more. But once, guys started doing attack modes, it was quite eye-opening how much progress people were making. So I just wanted to obviously try and be clever with that without, none of us have got experience of doing these types of races with that type of, contrast between the 2 power levels. So just going with my gut a little bit. Obviously timed it all right, I think, or pretty good, but was energy rich. It was all looking pretty good, but still you just never know what's going to happen. So obviously those red flags were, I have to mention it was good to see Pascal walk away from that accident. I did see it in my mirror. I was like, "Oh, that's a nasty one." So good to see the safety of the car. But yeah, the 2 red flags were just both different. Our energy dropped a lot on that first one, and then with the last few laps, with Antonio, the target was just high enough for me to not hang on comfortably, but just hang on. So, he gave it a good crack. I was just able to manage my targets and got it done. So, yeah, obviously a massive surprise. Still trying to process the race and 25 points. It's been a good track to me here. It's my second win. So, yeah, pretty happy.
It was a slightly disappointing time last year because you didn't get the race win. Does this make up for that? Because up until this race and actually continuing this race, you were the most successful driver here in Sao Paulo.
Yeah, I guess so. I almost won 3 in the balance here. Was 2 corners short, which still really hurts. But yeah, I mean, I guess it makes it up, for that. But I guess it's just this result was so unexpected off the back of what happened in qualifying. So happy for that. A bit surprised, but I'll take it and we'll roll on.
Briefly going back to attack mode, it was, I think, your teammate Nick Cassidy that first showed everyone what this new attack mode can do. Could you see him suddenly disappearing into the distance and you probably licking your lips when you saw that?
I mean, I saw him for about 2 corners and then I was like trying to spot him up and I was like, shit, he's in the lead. He got to the lead, right?
He did, yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, wow, this thing's powerful. And I was only like a car or 2 behind him when he went for the activation. So, so I knew the power behind it, but obviously you don't want to get caught with guys behind you coming through and then kind of pushing you back into the field. So it's just, again, just thinking on your feet, trying to be smart. And then once I activated, I kind of got to where he was, and then it was all about just trying to, wait for everyone to do their attacks, and then I wanted to leave one, in the pocket, which fortunately timed really well because it was getting to that stage where you had to do that second attack and then the red flag came out. So, all worked out pretty good in the end.
It did indeed. Congratulations again.
Thanks.
Antonio, we'll move on to you. The first experience of the Gen 3 Evo car in a race situation. How was it for you?
Yeah, crazy race today. I think so much happened, and I said it before, where I think the race dynamic would have changed this year, but I never thought that it would change this much. We were constantly driving in the top 3, top 4, and then when the attack mode sequence kind of started, I think I must have dropped out of the top 10 at some point just by with people coming through in attack mode. So it's important to stay patient. Your time will come once you activate it, but like Mitch said, you still have to be smart when you're using it. And yeah, make sure you don't get tangled up with anybody that is virtually not on the same race as you. So yeah, a lot of improvisation, a lot of adapting. I think also a good prep what we did back home with the team. But yeah, happy with how this first race weekend went for us. I wanted to start the season with a good chunk of points, which has been the complete opposite of what we've done the last couple of years. So yeah, I hope this is the start of the push for the start of a championship campaign.
When you have a race with 2 red flags, how disruptive is that? Because obviously you're in the mindset, you're out there racing at higher speeds than ever before, and you're suddenly in the pit sat there. It must be hard to stay focused at times.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I think this is my 25th year of racing, and I do try and put a little bit of that into practice, and there are times to relax even during a red flag, and there are times to get back in the mood of attacking and trying to go for a race win. And yeah, just I think through experience we're able to do that in a good way.
Obviously, it's great to see that Pascal is okay. We know he's at hospital just getting checked out, precautionary checks at the moment. Have you had a chance to speak with him yet?
I have not, no. I mean, that was the first question I asked, and I think, it's a reminder that our sport is dangerous. It's a reminder that we have to race with respect amongst everyone. I'm not at all saying that's what, I'm not, putting fault to either Nick or Pascal. I'm sure both of them are very fair drivers, but it's just a good reminder, and I'm glad that he's okay, but it's a good reminder that what we do is dangerous and we need to race with respect. Our cars are getting faster. Some of these tracks are tight, are bumpy. We need to know how to go side by side, and yeah, just glad to see that he's good and that the safety of these cars is very good.
Absolutely. Congratulations on P2 today. And we move on to Taylor Barnard, who I'll be honest, I wasn't expecting to speak to today. Were you expecting to be getting your first podium in your very first proper full season race?
Absolutely not. I think that's pretty obvious. The first, I want to say 15 laps of the race, I was last. Obviously, the red flags brought us back into the race. Obviously, first of all, I think it's great that Pascal's okay. That was quite a scary crash. I was on the right side of that crash, and to see that happen right in front of me was pretty scary and a reminder that, like Antonio said, it's dangerous. So it's great to see that he's okay. But from my side, from the team side, it was a great execution at the end of the race. The second attack was done perfectly to help us propel up the order. But I don't have much words for you, honestly. It's amazing.
You finished the race with a huge energy advantage, 4% I think it was in the end. Could there have been a way that maybe that restart would have gone even better for you?
Honestly, not really. I was limited by temperature and by tyre grip, so I tried. Honestly, I really did try. At the end, Sam was helping me to keep this third position, so thanks to him. But I gave it my all at the end to try and gain some more positions, but unfortunately, it was not possible.
Obviously, yeah, we did see Sam Bird supporting you there, a great weekend for the team, with him finishing just behind you. And, when we were seeing you at the end there being congratulated, Sam was there throughout, and he was obviously over the moon for you. It must be very special to have come into the team where you were originally deputised for Sam, and to now have such a close bond that's quite obvious to everyone to see.
Yeah, absolutely. Sam obviously had his unfortunate incident last year, and when I stepped in for him there, he was extremely supportive and helpful to try to get me up to speed, and it's been exactly the same in my transition as a full-time race driver. He's been so helpful. Obviously, he's one of the most experienced drivers on this grid, so to have his help and him by my side as a teammate, it's been amazing, and obviously, hopefully, we can keep up these results.
You mentioned temperature management. Have you had to manage the temperature of your phone going crazy since that result?
I haven't had a chance to get anywhere near it, but I think I'll leave it for a bit.
That's going to need a good charge. Congratulations, P3, for Taylor Barnard from Neon McLaren Formula E team. We do have time for some questions. They can be both in English or Portuguese, and we will translate them. Gentleman at the front here.
My question is for Mitch. Mitch, congrats for your second victory here in Sao Paulo. My question is, which moment came to your mind that the victory was closed? And any time of the race, you think about the last one here in Sao Paulo?
I probably thought it was done coming out of the last corner of the last lap, because it was just, the whole race was very, unpredictable. And then the last 4 laps with this guy, or 5 laps with this guy, breathing on your neck, it's pretty, you don't really know what could happen. And that last 5 laps could have gone either way. So it was literally coming out of the last corner when I knew that it was finally done. Yeah, it would have been nice to have a calmer, into the race, but yeah, got it done. So I guess that's what matters.
Thanks, and congratulations for your victory again.
Thanks.
I'm going to sit here. Anyone else? Oh, no, I'm going to go back over here. There you go, Dom.
Sorry. Mitch, we saw you defending hard from Antonio at the end of the race, but both McLarens had an energy advantage. Were you aware of the advantages they had, and did you see those as a threat on those final laps?
Yeah, I was aware of their advantage. Obviously, it's a huge advantage, and yeah, it's obviously they were, I think, a lap down, so they got their lap back, which it's something maybe to look into, because it's a little bit, I don't want to take anything away from Taylor, but it's a little bit, crazy that someone does that basically it's something we need to look into the future, because I think it could be heavily, you could have a heavy advantage if that does happen in the future. So when I heard that, I was like, okay, I was expecting him to come through, but the target was just high enough for me to manage, and I think Taylor, he was struggling a bit with the balance, so that helped me. I was just getting good exits. So it was all about the target. If the target was a little bit lower, or kind of the level that we had before the last red flag, I think they would have walked past us because it was so low, the target. So luckily that red flag, just bumped it up enough for us to hang on to it.
Jack Smith, Motorsport Monday. Question for Taylor. At what point did you realise that the team had requested Sam to hang back? And how did that feel, given that was essentially going to gift you the podium?
Actually, I wasn't told. Obviously, at the end, the target was extremely high, and I was just trying to attack Antonio the best I could. But obviously, being the reserve driver in the team last year, I know the way they work, and I kind of expected that we would try to protect our positions as best as possible. Obviously, Sam's a great teammate, and he didn't have to do that, but obviously, thanks to him for keeping that position. Yeah, again, thank you to them.